So I'm going to recap what we did yesterday, just for the benefit of those who were not on the call yesterday. We started with these beautiful restaurant stories to kind of just depict and shows the role of a business analyst and that of a scrum master. And I said that the role of a business analyst is just to interface or intermediate between the customers here and the chef preparing, who will be preparing the food. As you can see, this guy serves as an intermediary between these happy customers and the chef in the kitchen preparing this wonderful chips and burger. The same role business analyst does. You are to interface or to serve as an intermediary between who we call the business stakeholders and the technical stakeholders. And we measure that who are the business stakeholders are the business owner who only understand business languages. They do not understand technical languages like coding, like user stories, and all those things. At the same time, the technical stakeholders, who are the developers, solution architects, software tester, and all those guys, who will be coding and doing the applications that the business owner requires or wanted, those technical stakeholders do not understand business languages. So party A does not understand technical language, party B does not understand business languages. So you as a business analyst, your job is to serve, to stay at the middle, understand the business language spoken by the business stakeholder, and document it and transmit it into technical languages understood by the technical stakeholders in a way that the technical stakeholders can use the languages you've transmitted to them to do their coding and develop the applications. So that is your role as a business analyst. Nothing more, nothing less. We went further to now say, once you've now understood that language, because the business stakeholder is only telling you, I want to do an online ordering applications on the face value, high level. You need to set up a meeting, a discovery or project discovery meetings where you as a business analyst, you will lead it. Then others within your team, solution architect, software developer, software tester, data analyst, everybody within your teams will be together along with the business owner. You can now start asking questions. What are the outcomes? What outcome would you like to achieve? What are the needs of your customer? Who are your customers? Who is the project sponsor? All the questions for you to understand the needs of that project better. That is what you do in the project discovery. And we mentioned that project discovery may be one section or it might be multiple sections. You can have as many as you want, or what you just need to do is you have understanding. You understand all the requirements, you understand all the nitty-gritty that you have to do as far as the project is concerned. Next, we also discussed about requirement gathering techniques, and we said requirement gathering or requirement elicitations, they are used interchangeably. What do we do here? This is where we now start looking at specific requirements, needs of the business owner and make sure that we understand it. For example, when business stakeholders said, I want people to order, the question is, do you want people to register before they can order, or do you want people to just order without registering as a visitor? It is the requirements elicitations or requirement gathering that you start asking that questions. Or, okay, if the business owner say, I want people to register so that when they register, they also need to log in. The question is, what are the details you want people to register with? Do you want first name? Do you want to take middle name? Do you want them to use their email to register, or you want them to create a username? Now, Those are the questions you ask in the requirements gathering sections. We went further by saying there are about 5 techniques to conduct requirements gathering: interview, workshops of observation, brainstorming, and document analysis. Now, there's no one size fits all techniques here. There are cases where you might have to use 3, 4, or 5 of these techniques. You just have to make sense of what you need to do, because each of them are used for different reasons. So you need to know which one you're meant to do at the appropriate time. Then we also did what we call a use case analysis and scenarios. Now, this is another techniques of doing a requirements gathering, but because this one is more specific, it allows you to understand the flows that users will do. For instance, when we say a registered users to make order, for a registered user to be classified as a registered user, what are the steps or the flow that that registered user will do? They will have to register with their personal details. When they register with their personal details, maybe they will have to confirm their email. An OTP will be sent to their email. They validate their email. When they validate their email, then they can go in and sign in with their email. When they are successfully signing, then they will now see all the available food at which they can order. But if it is just a visitor customer does not need to register, does not need to sign in. What do? They just go in, see available food, and they can order. So use case allow you to just look at the flows that we do. And in use case, there are 2 things. We talked about use case and an actor. An actor is a specific person, users of using that will be using our platforms. We made mention of who's the actor. We talked about customer. We talked about an admin. We talked about dispatch rider and so forth. Lastly, we went through persona. I would say persona is a fictional representation of our actual users. For instance, we use B, if my memory serves me right, to represent our registered users. And we want to look at all the characteristics of B on how they fit into what we're trying to do, so that we can know if B is what is a family person with with 3 children. We definitely know that as B is making order for herself, she will also be ordering for the kids. So we have to be kid sensitive. That is the essence of persona. Persona help us to imagine who our actual user will be, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, their characteristics, motivations and everything. This will be useful for us as we build an application that is useful, that is fit for purpose. Any question before I move on what we discussed yesterday? I've just summarized all what we discussed yesterday for the purpose of those who were not on the call yesterday. Thank you. Now, today, we'll start with gap analysis. So we're coming with the anticipation that we now clearly understood what the business owner would like us to develop. Now, what does gap analysis help us to do? Gap analysis helps us to understand the difference between what is currently happening and the future states. Okay? It's a process in which business, for instance, going back to our project, the online ordering application. Currently, what happens is for customers to make food, to buy food, what do they have to do? They will have to drive 30 minutes to the restaurants to come and buy food. There is no online ordering applications. They'll have to drive down to come and buy food. That is what we call we call it assist, current behavior. Okay? Current behavior. That's what we do. Now, from what we're trying to do, okay, let me even let's go back to our notes. Gap analysis. So gap analysis helps to understand current behaviors and the expected behavior. So current behavior here, so gap analysis equal to current behavior, okay, expected behavior. Now, we normally refer to current behavior as what? As is. Okay, that is the terminology, industry terminologies, and the expected behavior to be. So, when you are referring to gap analysis, when you say as is, we know that you're referring to current behavior. What is currently happening now? Before we go into deploying and deployment of online order applications. Then the expected behavior is, okay, when we continue, when we finish and we go live with the online ordering application, what are the things that will be happening? That is the expected behavior. We refer to it as to be. Let's take some example, okay? Let's do now the current behavior. What are things that is currently? Am I not sharing my screen? I'm sharing my screen, I guess. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the person that said is not seeing my screen or she is not seeing my screen, I'll say just log out and come back in because I'm sharing my screen. So the current behavior, can someone just, if we're using the project, the restaurant now, okay? This restaurant approach, this is where what happens when this customer comes in. This guy, what does he do? He has to greet them. Oh, hi, good afternoon, table of two, and get them seated. Okay, that is the current behavior. When he gets them seated, what happens? He hand over the menu to them. That's another current behavior. Once he hand over the menu, this guy look at the menu and they call the waiter to say, hey guys, come and take our order. That's another behavior. When the guy arrives, this guy call all the orders that he wants. So the ladies, when they comes and say, okay, come and take our orders, and they wrote the orders to them. We want chips, we want this. That's another current behavior. Then when that happens, what happens? This guy, oh, can I just confirm that have gotten the correct orders. He wrote back to say, these are what you've ordered, blah, blah, blah. When that happens, this guy now take the orders to the kitchen for the chef to do that. Are we clear with that flow? That in the restaurants, that is the process. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So let's now try and do gap analysis. So the first order is, what is the first order here? Number one, the first flow is, okay, customer enter the restaurant and get okay, quoted by the waiters. Okay, once they get in there by the waiter, okay, the waiter offers seat to the customer. Okay, when the customer gets seated, what happens again? The waiter, hand over menu. Hello, sorry, my network. Sorry, we're back. So then the customer look at the menu and decide on the food to buy. Is it? Okay, then after that, customer make order. Okay, call customer, call the waiter and make the orders. Then the waiter validates the order. Okay. Read back the order to the customers to ensure he has gotten the right orders. Okay, guys. So are we clear with this now? Are we clear with this, that this is the process or the flows when customers enter the restaurants and when the waiters? Are we clear with this? Yes or no, guys? Let me know if we're clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is what we refer to as current behavior. And I said, normally in the industry, we normally say current behavior. Instead of just saying current behavior, just say assist. As we progress in our journey of entering into BA world, we'll get to understand some of the way we use this terminology. So for now, just know that today, current behavior means assist. The expected behavior means to be. And what are the current behavior is before we do the projects, the software applications, the online ordering application, what is it that, how are they doing particular things? We've listed how these particular things are being done. Now, what is now the expected behavior based on the requirements that we gather from the customer to say, okay, for customers should be able to do this, they should be able to do that. Now, customer enter the restaurants are greeted by waiters. Customer is not coming to the restaurants. What would they do? Customer login, customer register and login as a register users, or customer visit the app as a visitor user. Are we clear about this? This is the current behavior. They will have to come to the restaurants, get greeted by the waiters, but when we finish the application, they will not. They will just register. Once they register, they will log in. This is the expected behavior. Now, the waiter offers seat to the customer. Okay. Here, because they are not coming, the waiter does not have to offer seats. So we refer to this as redundancy. It's add no value. No value. Okay. No longer taken to the new word. We call it new word. That means we're not carrying over. We're not carrying over this to the new word because they don't need to offer seats. Okay. Instead, what do? They just register, then they can log in. So why is it? You know that this is, it add no value. So as a business analyst, when you say something add no value, it means it's valueless. It has no importance, no significance. And I have mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, that your job as a business analyst is basically to add value to either your project or to your clients. So if you think, oh, this is not adding value, then don't waste your time on it. So this one, we're not carrying it over. However, in your job, in your mind as a business analyst, the waiter offers seat to the customer. You need to now think, what about, yes, we are developing an application for people to make order in their house. But what about if I decide I might want to dine in? So I'm going to make food. I will order online. I will order for in the next 1 hour, but I'm coming with my wife to come and dine in. So what is that telling you? Meanings, even though we can still do this with the waiter offers seats, but instead of waiter offers seats to this, what happens? Customers can select a seat to to dine in when they comes to the office, to the restaurants. Right. Are we clear about this? That though currently the waiter will be the one to offer the seat, but in the new world, expected behavior, okay, customer will just select a seat. What is this telling you? That means we need to build an application. This is telling you that we need to build an application, and I will take us through it, where customer will see all the available seats numbered. Then the customer can say, oh, I want seats 4 and 5. So that when I come to collect my food, I want to dine in, I come to collect my food I just want to sit in that seat 4 and 5, me and my wife. Are we clear about this as well? So the fact that the waiter will not offer seat to the customer, however, this has to be clarified. Maybe I don't want it. So the fact that you want it, so you need to clarify this in your requirement elicitation period or section. Oh, okay. Currently, waiter offers seats. Is this something you want to carry to the new world? If my answer as the owner of the business is no, I don't want that things, then where does it go? This is what we're going. We're no longer taking to the new world. But if in your mind as a business analyst, you say, okay, currently it is the waiter that offers it. Now, do you want customers to be able to see available seats and they can select a seat? If I now respond to, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Yes, that would be good. Meaning, customer will select a seat to dine in when they come to the. Now, when they select that seat, you cannot order food. Ensure that that food gets delivered to your house and select your seat. So means that your use case and scenario will be different. So what will be your scenario here? Anyone can try. For a customer to make use of this, what is their scenario? What will be their scenario? The scenario that we talked about yesterday. What will be their scenario? What scenario and use case will be here for customer to do this? Let's give it a guess. Which customer will do this? Okay, I want to select a seat to dine in. Okay, let's say B, being a registered customer. Okay. Scenario. Okay. Order food online. Once the food to be ready, in 2 hours. Let's say 2 p.m. and he will be coming to dine, coming to the restaurant with his wife, with her husband, okay, to dine in. So this is the scenario. You will order food online. To do this, what are the steps? Step 1, what will happen? Step 1, what happens to B? What will B will have to do? B is a registered customer. Log in. Step 2, what will B to do when she log in? See available foods and order food. Step 3, okay. Step 3, B, once the food is ordered, select time.
Payments method.
Yeah, payment method. Yes, that's fine. Select payment method, and complete order. Step 4, schedule, because what? Wants the food to be ready in 2 p.m. So you have to schedule dining time. dining time to be 2 p.m. Okay, then when he scheduled this to be ready 2 p.m., what? He will be coming to the restaurant with her husband to dine in. Then step 5, because she will be coming to the restaurant to dine in, what should happen? Select the table to dine in. Okay, this is, we've done a scenario. What does this scenario allow us to do? We know that, okay, as part of what we'll be building, we need to build a functionality that allow user to be able to log in, user to be able to log in. Okay, we need to see functionality, build a functionality to allow user to be able to see all the available food. Okay, this select payment type allow user to select payment type, preferred payment type when completing their order. Okay, then again, this step 4, schedule dining time to be 2 p.m. allow customer to select or schedule dine-in time or when the food should be ready. Okay, which is 2 p.m. Again, allow users to select a table for dining. Okay, so we just, the first thing we did, we look at the steps. We call it either steps or flow. Flow that to do this thing or this scenario, for B to go through this scenario, these are the steps that B will have to go through, these 5 steps. Now, because step 1, login, how we did, we have to build a functionality to allow B to log in. So you know that we need to have a login functionality as part of our applications. To see food that are due, we need to build in the functionalities that allow B to see all the available food and so on and so forth. Are we clear about how we use case and scenario to come up with these functionalities? We went through this yesterday as well. Now let's go back to our gap analysis. Now, the waiter hand over the menu to the customer, the current distance. In this case, what happens? The waiter hand over the menu to the customer. What is the expected behavior to do here? I want someone to give it a go. So
the app will confirm the order. There'll be confirmation message.
Yes, the app should confirm the order, but before the order is confirmed, here the waiter hand over the menu to say, okay, with the menu where you can order your food, you see it. In this case, then the menu, user should see the menu on the app. So once you log in, you should see all the menu, you know, chips, burger, this and everything. You should see all this. So we're replacing that the waiter will be the one to hand over the menu. In this case, we're building a functionality that all the menu will be available on the app. And once user log in, they will see the menu. That is the expected behavior of this. Now, the customer look at the menu and decide on the food. Again, the customer the customer view all the menu and, you know, decide on the food to buy. Now, if you want to decide on the food to buy, are you not going to be asking your question, should I be able to add the menu to my cart? Or should I add it to my wish list? B, you have the questions?
Yes, I do. So under the customer look at the menu and decide on the food to buy, is this where we also add the specification of the menu? Like let's assume, remember
Absolutely.
yesterday you mentioned
Yes.
about
The
halal and all that.
description, halal
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
we put in. So
Okay.
now the question here is this: the waiter hand over the menu. Now, where is the? You can have another, you know, to say, okay, currently menu does not contain. Please borrow me. You know, description or what is this thing that they used to cook? Guys, borrow me the English. What they used to cook or ingredients. Okay, that is the current behavior. The menu does not contain this. Sorry, 1 minute, please. So, hello? Now, currently, when the menu that the waiter hand over to the customer, that menu does not contain descriptions or the ingredients. Then what we want to do, add the descriptions and the ingredients to the menu display online. Okay? Now, this is vague, is it? What is the description? What do we mean by descriptions? You know, these are things you need to elicit or to gather to say, okay, if I want to know, I will now write an email. Hey guys, thank you. In the description, can I know what you would like us to have in the descriptions of food? Maybe they'll say, oh, if you want to write this chip is this, believe this. You can also ask for that. Do you want, what is the maximum character of description you want to write? Maybe description should not be more than 20 characters or 40 characters. You ask, you cannot guess. Now, ingredients, what kind of ingredients do you want to have? Because these are vague. You know, you have to be specific. Do you want to have kilo? Do you want to have kg? Do you want to, everything specifically? You must ask these questions. Are you clear with that, B?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. So again, customer call the waiter and make their order. What happens? What is the expected behavior here? Customer just make, click, or customer click on the order button to complete the order. So instead of calling the waiter, here, once you've added your food to the to cart, you review it to see that everything is fine. What happens? You just see it and say, okay, click order, and that is order. Now, the waiter read back the order to customer to ensure he has gotten the right order. In this case, what do we want to do? The customer can review the order before clicking the order button. Okay, instead of waiter reading back the order, well, what we are building is that you've clicked this order, you've added the order to your cart. Before you click button, you can review it to see, okay, does this make sense? Do I want to change it? Or I'm okay with it, then I can do it. So this is what we do. This is just high level of what we talk, what we know, and refer to as gap analysis. Any question about gap analysis? Again, when we do a project, you know, we will be clear, you'll be able to write all this gap analysis, you do it, you practically. Yeah, B.
I realized that we've done the gap analysis for users. So what happened in the case where someone is a visitor? Like, is that also meant to be part of the expected behavior? Because we talked about them being able to select a seat to dine in if you're a customer and if you're registered. So what happens to someone who is not registered? Is that not also supposed to be a gap? I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Hello?
Hello, sorry, I didn't know I muted myself. Yeah, I got what you said, but why, you can write that as a gap. So what you're saying now is for those who do not want to, okay, let's write it now. Let's write it, a hard one. So what you're saying is for those that want to order as a visitor, okay? Currently, do we have that? No. Because everybody comes to the restaurant, you don't need to register. So what do you have to do? No visitors, users. As all customers,
Just please bring iron for me. Please bring out the iron for me, I beg.
Comes to the
and the body spray. I hope you've chosen the one you want.
Sorry, can you mute yourself, please? Or come to the restaurant to make their order. Okay, that is it. However, in the new world that we're going, when we do our online applications, okay, allow visitors, users, don't mind these things, to make order without registration and login. Is it what you're saying, what you're talking, what you're referring to be?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at in the case where like they have to come in and then like over here you're like, sorry, can select a seat to dine in when they come to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for for registered users, right? So in the case of visitor users, do they have, like, how do they go about selecting a seat to dine in? Like, is there going to be like a QR code or something, if you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so a visitor users, do you understand the concept of visitor user? You're saying visitor user is a user that does not need to register. He or she does not need to register. What they just need, okay, you come to the website, to the applications, they see the application and they just go in and they order their food. I'm not sure if we're saying the same, if we're saying the same thing.
No, I'm talking about them coming in to dine in. like in the place where they have to come in to dine in.
Yeah.
Dine into the restaurants. They're visitors, so they cannot like we've only talked about them being like registered and being able to select a seat when they come in to dine in. So for visitor users, do they?
Okay. I got it now. Brilliant idea. Yeah. So in that case, yes. Thank you. Yeah, I understand what you're saying now. So what we need to do, yeah, that's a very good question. And what you now need to do, but this particular one, this use case, B is what? Is a registered customer, is it? Let's now go for non to a visitor's customer. Sorry. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, check the mail. So let's now assume that Yemisi is a what? A visitor customer. Okay. Meaning Yemisi will not do what? Will not register. She will not log in. But at the same time, she wants to order food online. Want the food to be ready 2 p.m. Want the food to be ready 2 p.m. And she will be coming to the restaurant with her husband. Okay, that is it. Are we clear with this? That is Yemisi visitor customers, and these are the scenario that she wants to do. Now, meaning step 1, she will not be logging in. So, no login for that. She will just browse the app. Okay, no login. She will only browse the app. Step 2, when she browses the app, she'll see all the available order. She select payment and complete the order. She can schedule time to be 2 p.m. Now, the question here is, see the food. Okay. Oh, sorry. She's not ordering food online. Apologies. Okay. She visits the restaurant. B, is that the right scenario? She visits the restaurant, want the food to be ready by 2 p.m.
Yes, that's right.
Then she'll be coming to the restaurant with her husband. Okay? Then she browses. In this case, she does not need to browse. So the question now is this. You ask yourself these questions, which you've provided that answer, by the way. But let's just think as a business analyst. She visits the restaurant. How will she order the food? Because in this case, she can be that visit the restaurant, then step 1, what happened? See the QR code. Okay, when she sees it, step 2, scan the QR code. When that is scanned, then she will see the available food. Step 3. Is this what you're referring to, B?
Yes.
So what is this now telling us? We need to develop capability. So develop functionalities or allow users to be able to scan a QR code. Okay, so when we are as part of the functionalities that we're developing, we need to develop something, a QR code, where if you go in, you scan the QR code, then all the available foods and everything, it will be you just be taken to the application that we're building. So in that case, you now continue the journey where you see all the available food and everything. That is if you visit the restaurants, compared to this one that you just want to, you're not visiting, you're ordering food online in your house. Are we clear? So if you now want to do that, if that is the case now, you can just come up with the gap analysis here. Maybe there is no QR code, then, so for visitors, no visitor users or customer come to the restaurant to make, allow visitor users to make order, when they are in the restaurants by scanning the QR code. Okay, without registration and login. So you're clear with this. Any questions about gap analysis? Like I said, we will have the opportunity to work on this. You will do your own gap analysis, then feedback, you'll be guided and everything. All I just need you to understand is just the concept, the basic understanding, know it, what is it used for, how is it being done. So let's now move from, we've done this, the next one, which is called the high-level requirement. Now, if you remember yesterday, we talked about you as a business analyst, you meet with the owner of the business to understand business requirements, business language, and you pass that business language to the technical stakeholder in a technical language that the technical stakeholder can speak, that they understand. So you collect business language from the business owner, you convert it into technical language, and you pass that technical language to your technical stakeholders. That is your role as a business analyst. One of the technical technical language we're talking about is this high-level requirement. And what is high-level requirement? High-level requirement states the aim, the specific objectives on a high level of what a user should do. Remember, on a high level of what a user should do, meaning that it just states what a user can do on the high level. As you can further break the high level requirements down into what we call user stories and acceptance criteria, which is going to be the next thing we'll talk about after this. But for now, I need you to understand that high level requirements states what user can do on a high level, and I'll give you an example of the high level requirements. Now, we can convert this. High requirements, okay? User can register. User can register. What is that? That is high level requirements. Okay? User ability to register. That is the technical language that we're talking about. Okay? Login. What is that? User ability to log in. Okay, that is it. This customer can select a seat. What is that? User ability to select a seat to dine in. User should see the menu on the app. User ability to view, we normally use view, not see. So see the menu on the app. Okay? The description. User ability to view the food description and ingredients before ordering the food. Do we understand high level now and how to write it? It's just very simple. User ability to do what? What they can do. The customer view all the menu and decide on the food to buy. Okay? User ability to view available menu. And when you view available menu, user ability to add menu to cart. Decide on the food to buy. Okay, then customer click on the order. User ability to click on the order to complete the food ordering process. So you have clearly written your high-level requirements. Any questions? You see how one activities is leading to another. At the same time, you can come here, you can use scenarios here that we've come here to do what? To write your high-level requirements. Like we said here, user to be able to log in. That's high-level requirements. So user ability to be able to log in. See food and other food, user to be able to. So all these are high-level requirements. Okay? High-level requirements. So all these are high-level requirements. Now, to write high-level requirements, one, two, three, four. Okay. Let's do some activities, fun activities. Okay, so high level requirements ID. Business requirements. I'll take us through now to tell you high level requirements. Then users or let's say use case. Then priority. Please, I want you to pay attention to this that I want to take us. So from what we've just said now, okay, let's go back to this. User ability to register, user ability to log in. Now, when we were talking yesterday, me as the owner of the business, when I only told you that I want users to be able to log in. That was the business language I told you as a BA. So we refer to that, what I've just spoken to you, what I've just told you, as what? Business requirements. So this is the requirements, the business things, the objectives, look at it, objectives that the business is expected, the business requirement is expected to achieve. And in this case, the high level requirement here is ID. So it's always a good experience, industry standard, to when you are writing any documentation, you need to always give your documentation an ID. So in this case, we just give it any random ID. You can say high level requirement 01. Okay, good. Now, the business objectives here is what? User or customers to log in, to register. Okay, that is the business requirement. Customer must be able to log in, or must be able to log in. Now, what is the high level requirements that we've written on this? Can anyone just, tell me the high level requirements?
Customers are able to log in.
Customers are able to log in, or users must be able to log in, the same way. We like to use users in this case when we're writing, when we're writing our requirements. So let's stick to users. However, users must. Now, we need to be mindful of our language here. When you say must, anything that is a must means it is compulsory. In this case, we mentioned here that we can have a registered customer, we can have a visitor customer. So let's just say users ability, okay, let's put it, must be able to log in. Let's write it in your own case. Okay. What this is telling us is the must here is telling us that it's a must. There is no two ways about it. Anything that you put must, meaning that you must do it. Without it, that application cannot work. So what is it? Now, the use case, what is the who should be able to do this, to register? Do we remember use case? How many use cases do we say we have? We have registered users, we have visitors users, we have delivery, we have an admin. So which of these use cases must be able to log in, to register, sorry, must be able to register with their, what do you register with? Personal details. What is the use case? A register user. Are we clear about this? Now, customer must be able to log in. Again, what is the high-level requirement? Users' ability to log in with their registered login credentials. Hey, I can write it this way because I'm experienced. Your own as simple as possible. Because user ability to log in, you're fine. No one will beat you for that. But of course, I can give you all the paparazzi that I can do because I know what I'm saying. But for you, keep it very simple. Then, who can log in as well? Who can log in?
The admin, I guess. Oh, no. The yeah, probably
A
what's the
registered
name?
user. We said the
Oh, registered.
registered user, when you register, then you should be able to log in. So, a registered user. Users. Now, high level requirement is 02. High level requirement is 03. Now, what else? After login, let's go back, and when you log in, what do? See food, see all available food. Is it? So, the business owner now say, okay, once they've registered, I want people to be able to see all my available food, all the available food that we have. So that's a business, okay? Customer to see all food, okay? In this case, what is our high level requirement here? User ability. You see that we're just changing little things here. It's the same thing, but the industry standard of writing high level requirement is this: user ability to, customer. This one can be written in any language because you are writing it in a language that the customer or the business owner who does not understand techie, who is not techie, does not understand technical language, has given you. I want customer to be able to do this. That's what you now rewrite it using this technical language of high level requirement. So it's user ability to see all the available food. Now, you see there is difference between this. Customer to see all food. From all food, what about in a scenario where chips, burger, lamb, chicken, beef. These are all the available, all foods that customer has given you here. Now, let's assume these ones, burger is not available, beef not available, only chips and chickens are available. The question now is this: you need to ask, do you want to show or allow customers to see only the available food or all the food? You see, there are two different things, scenarios. Are we clear? There are 4 foods, but out of these 4, only 2 is available. So if I say customer has given me, I want to see all food. Now, you cannot say user ability to see all the available food, because what that is telling you is customer will only see chips and chicken. Meanwhile, what customer has given you is they should even see this one. So you now say user ability to see all food. Now, if I'm as a business analyst, I will now ask a further questions. Now, what happened to the food that are not available? Then I can tell you, okay, the food that are not available, let customers see it, but they cannot order food that are not available. What we've just done is what we refer to requirements gathering or requirements elicitations. Guys, are we clear? The concept. Because what customer has given me is customer to see all the food. But there is possibility that all the food, these are all the food, 4 foods. But there's a scenario whereby out of these 4 food, 2 will not be available. Maybe they cannot find burger. What should happen? You cannot just, because there is no point. I can even say this. If the customer has given me to say, okay, let them see all the 4 that are available, but they should only be able to order this chicken and chips. That's good. But remember, I told you, your role as a business analyst is purely to add value. I can probe the customer further to say, hey, tell me, what is the essence of seeing this burger and beef, that they are not available, meaning they cannot order? What is the essence of displaying food that they cannot order? Put yourself in your shoe as a user. You go to a restaurant, you see burger, your favorite. Oh, you're not happy, only for you to go there, add to the cart before you now see that that burger is not available. Won't you be pissed off? So you can challenge the customer to say, hey, if you want to show this, but customers should not be able to order, why showing that beef to them? Why don't you just make sure that when this beef is not available, don't even display it? However, if the customer has given you, yes, I want to display it, so that the business or the customer will know that at least we have burger, though it's not available today, but when they come back next time, it will be available. The customer has given you reason. That is value why you should display it, even though the burger is not available. I'm not sure if we understand that logic. Do we?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. So here you write it. So in this case, irrespective, it depends on how. If the customer wants you to see all the available food, then you see all the food. Then you've seen all the food here. Then users' ability to do what? To not be able to add unavailable food to carts. Okay? You've specified that although you see all the food, but burger and beef that are not available, users should not be able to add them to carts. The same way, user ability to add only the available food to carts. You've specified that only chips and chickens that are available, that is what food, users can order to, can add to carts. So you write as many as you can write based on what you got gathered from your requirements. And if there's anything that you're not clear, just like we clarify with the concept, with the issue of customer to see your food, you clarify with your customer. Like I said, it's a continuous thing. We always refer to something, we say socialize with the business. What that is telling you is that you and the business stakeholder must be 5 and 6. In the morning, I'll talk to my business stakeholder. In fact, every day I'll talk to my business stakeholder like 3 or 4 times. Either direct meeting, or I send a message through Teams, or we call, we make calls. We even go out for lunch together because we're 5 and 6. Kind of.
Yeah, sorry. Good morning. This is just an addition. It just came to my mind, and I just wanted to say it. So I was thinking, for the foods that are unavailable, if like the customer can like put like a notification, create like a notification when the foods are available, the app will generally just notify the customer that, oh yeah, the
Push.
food is now
Yes.
available.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So, in addition to that, thanks, Karen, for that. As part of your value added mindset as a business analyst, the food that are not available, we said that, okay, users should not be able to add to carts when the food is not available. Then you should now ask yourself, okay, does that mean when this food is now available, let's push a notification, because we want them to know that even when this food is not available, we can even have like a toolkit to say this food is not available. You'll be notified when the food is available, so that as a customer, you go there, oh, I like chicken, or it's not available. When you hover or you click on that, it will just say, sorry, chicken is not available now. You'll be notified when it is available. And when it is available, you get notified. However, the business owner might not be thinking about it, but you as a business analyst, because your job is to add value, you will now say, hey, okay, do you mind when we display unavailable food, should we add a little banner to show to the customer to say, this is not available, you'll be notified when it is available. Okay? And if the customer say, oh, brilliant idea, then what does that mean? You will add that to your high level requirement, which is users ability to see a tooltip on the unavailable food, advising that the food is not available and the customer will be notified when the food becomes available. Okay? You know, this is good. Then you can also add another one. Users' ability to be notified, be notified when the unavailable food becomes available. So you do this. Then use cases. Who should see this? User ability to sell food, register, to sell food, both registered and visitors, users. If I'm right, user ability to note this, same thing. So you add all the use cases to it, just to give a better context of, okay, these functionalities, this high-level requirements, who is to see this high-level requirements you are giving this. Now, the last concept I would like us to talk about is the concept of priority. Now, remember yesterday, I made mention to us that this project will take us 6 months to deliver everything. We call it prioritization technique. Okay, I tell you this, I got my first role using these techniques. So these prioritization techniques, what do we call? We call it Moscow prioritization. And what is Moscow? M is for what? Must have. S is for should have. C is for could have. Then W is for won't have. Now, let's go back to here. Here, we talked about users must be able to. Let me explain what this. Anything that is a must have, like I mentioned, it's a must. Meaning, without it, users cannot use the applications. Okay, without this, user cannot use it, and the application cannot go live. The app cannot go live. Okay, the should have, it's good. It will add to the usability and enjoyment of the users. So means if this anything that we classified as should, it will make users to enjoy using our application better. But it does not mean that if it does not have it, the application does not have that functionalities, we cannot go ahead and use the applications. But if that application with a should have is missing, you will not have a better experience using the applications. Then the could have, these are what we refer to as luxury functionalities. So what this is telling you is that, hey, they are just there to add glamour to it. If they are not there, user will not even know because they add little or no value to it. But if they are there, okay, maybe they will just see it. It will just add some little glamour, it will make you to be unique. But if they are not there, they will not take away anything from users. Then the last that we refer to as won't have are what we refer to out of scope. They are insignificant. Don't even go there. So anything that is a won't, don't go there. It does not have any effect. So it's clearly out of scope. Anything we say it's out of scope, meaning that don't go there, you should not worry about it. Anything that is, so all of this will now be classified as what? We classify them as in scope. In scope. Out of scope are what we should not worry to develop. The in scope are what we need to do. Because it's 6 months, by the time we get to Agile next week, we'll have a better understanding of this. We said 6 months, and we might not be able to deliver everything in 6 months. Okay? In case we need to focus, that means we need to focus on what matters, what is adding value, what user will be able to do. Straightforward. And to do that, we use this technique, Moscow prioritization techniques, to do that. So let's now go back here and start prioritizing this requirement. Customer, user must be able to register with their personal detail. Registration. What will you classify registration? Is it a must? Is it a should? Is it a could have?
Must have.
Must have. Because for a registered users, you cannot use the applications if you do not register. So we put as must have. Again, user ability to log in. What is this, a must, should, or could?
Must.
Must have as well. User ability to see all food. Must, could, or should?
Must have.
Must have.
Must have. Now, let's keep it. User ability not to be able to add unavailable food to cart. Must, should, or could?
Could.
Could.
I-
Because we can decide not to even show the unavailable food. We can decide, okay, we don't want to show it. So let's give it a could. Now, let me say this again. Most of the interpretation, your interpretation, someone might come and say, this should be a should. There's no right or wrong way. It is your argument that matters. And you might say, hey, because I'm going to give it a should there, because I want people to see it, but they should not be able to, so that they know that we have it. Knowing that we not have it means that if it is their favorite food, they know we have it, they can come back next time. You have a good argument, and you can give it a should. So there's no right or wrong way. What matters is your argument to that perspective. And that is one of the key qualities of a business analyst. You must be able to give a current and a very vivid argument to anything you are giving, because you are considered to know it. Now, let's look at it. User ability to say two tips. What can you give? Must, should, or could? Guys, what can we give this?
Could.
Why
Could.
do you want to give it could? Why could? You're right. I just want to know your argument. Why are you giving it could? Why? You can't tell me you don't have something. You just, I don't want to train you to become a BA, a passive BA. I want you to become an active BA. What is an active BA is the one that have reasons for every actions, for everything he or she says. And that's what I want to train you to become. Why do you have it should root? Can you unmute yourself and talk root? Why is it a should? You're right. I just want to know why you have it as should.
So it's okay. It's a should have because it will make the app more user friendly and usability too. Because when people see that, okay, this food is not available, but then you let me know when it's available, that means they can either wait for when it's available or order the available food.
Absolutely. Thank you. So are we all agree that we should make it a should?
Yes. Hello. Sorry. Can I say something, sir?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm right with the terminology, but I was thinking of could have because even if it's not there, it's not really that significant. But though it's significant, but it's still not that significant that could actually affect the user. The user can actually still go back to the app any other time without I mean the tab there, and they can actually still see it when it's on there. So they don't it's I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. And sorry, Toby, I'm going to take you guys now. One thing you need to be aware of, you are both right. We could make it should, you could make it could. However, your job, I repeat, is to add value. Because look at this ability to see a tutu on the available food, advising that the food is not available and the customer will be notified when the food becomes available. Because do you think this will help the customer, oh, this is good, notification. Okay, if we could, let's do this. Let's even give this a code. Sorry, guys, I'm going to take you. Let's give this a code. Could have. Now, what should be the last one? User ability to be notified when the available food becomes available. What should be this one be?
Probably a must have.
A must have. Okay. But if it's a must, I get where you're coming from. Do you think even if we don't do this, we cannot go live with the applications? We can still go live with it. So we rule out the must because it's insignificant for us, for users to be able to use their applications. What I'm trying to drive out of here is this. User ability, when they get notified, oh, chicken is now available and I get notified today. It could come as an update later on. Thank you. When I get notified today, I rush to the kitchen and go and order. What would that be? That will increase revenue. So in that case, because we're dealing with revenue, nothing, it's food. I want to sell more, sell more. That is the basis, the key objectives of doing the application in the first instance. So what that is telling you is that because that will help us to sell more, hey, that must be a should, if it will not be a must. So your interpretation, you have to interpret it in a way that, hey, will this add value to my customer in terms of sales, in terms of more customer, in terms of improving customer satisfaction, and so on and so forth. So we give this a should. Now, if we now want to start developing this application one after the other, the general rule of thumb is that all the must application will have to be developed first before we go to should and before we go to could. So if we develop all the must, let's say we have 6 months, all the must applications, we do it in 3 months or 4 months, we have additional 2 months. We can go to the should. If time permits us, we'll now go to all the could. But you cannot lift an application or a requirement that is a must have and go and do a could or should. You do the must have first, you move to should before you go to could. Any question, guys?
Thank you very much. Mine is more like a comment, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think perhaps we can, for the high level requirements, we can also put in something like to enable the user to be able to toggle the notification that, okay, they want to receive notification about something, even in the first instance, or they don't want to have any notification at all, because some users prefer not to be bugged with notifications at all. They prefer to just go into the app and do whatever they want to do, then they come back out. So I think if we had provided something before this user ability to not be able to add unavailable food carts, if we could put another option that would allow the users to be able to toggle the notification. Okay, I want notification. So whoever chose that they want to get notifications, then can have these other 3 options.
Yep. So toggle on and off. Now, to toggle this on and off, if you are suggesting it, remember what I told you. Your role is to recommend. You will still go to your business stakeholder to say, hey guys, some customer does not like to be disturbed with notification black and black. Do you want us to have this so that you can just make a preference to say, okay, I want notification when these things becomes up. And the customer will say, okay, maybe yes or no, assuming the customer asks you to do it. Now, the question again is this. in order of priority to the customers. In yourself, you know that this is not a must because either it's there or not, it does not. What will you classify this toggle notifications for? It's just
could have.
Could have. So just put it as could have. You know, if the time permits you, you can do it after you've done the must and the should. So when you think of something, your idea, bring it on. But you have to table it to the business. Oh, do you want this? Okay. Then if they want it, you now look at, okay, I need to prioritize it. In order of priority, what does it want? Is this what you want? Yes. Will you like it? And just you need to have an alignment between you, the business stakeholder. You also need to have an alignment with your team. Any other questions? Okay. Now, we do not have enough time, but we have about 15 minutes or so. And I'm going to take us, this is the key one. We call it epic user stories and acceptance criteria. Now, in addition to your high-level requirements, the technical requirements or technical language that we're talking, we refer to, this is it, nothing more. And as a business analyst, 60% of your time, you will spend it writing these user stories and acceptance criteria. If what you're able to take out of this training is your ability to write user story, high-level requirements, user story, and acceptance criteria very well, consider yourself as a business analyst, because 60, if not more than that, that's what you'll be expected to write. So it's very significant. It's important that you know how to write user stories and acceptance criteria. Now, there are 3 elements of this. We call these things in an advanced way, we call it detailed requirements. Okay? Where is my detailed requirement documentation? And they are, one is epic, user story, acceptance criteria. Okay, they are these 3 elements are referred to as detailed requirement documentation. Okay. Now, epic is, what is epic? This is a big requirement that can be broken down into smaller pieces of requirements. Okay. For instance, registration. Okay. Registration, when we say user to be able to register, we can break this down into smaller because it's big. Under registration, we can break it down into many things. Okay. Register with personal details. Okay. When you register with personal details, which is i.e. first and last name, phone number, email address, password, and confirm password. Okay. There is also email validation to ensure that the email address that you have written, you have submitted here is your own. I'm sure we've seen that so many times. A token will be sent to your email. Go and click it to validate that that's your correct email. Okay, that's part of your registration. Maybe there's also ID verification. ID verifications, or let's say address verification. Okay, submit your ID or your proof of address. Okay, that's part of registration. That's it. Now, as part of your registration, we can say what? That is epic. Meaning, we'll now write user story for all of this. Okay? Personal details. So, user story is what? We've broken it down into smaller pieces. So, we write user story for personal details. We write for what? We write for email validation. We write for ID or address verification. Okay, we'll now write. So, what is acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is what? It's all the conditions that each user stories must meet. Meaning, for personal details, we'll write the condition that personal details must meet. Okay, for instance, first and last name must contain only what? Must not be more than, let's say, 10 characters. Okay, phone number must contain only alphabet, must not be more than, let's say, 12 characters. Okay, email must be in email format. Okay, then you do the same thing. Email validation. So, email validation, maybe email validation users must click the link directly from the email, from the registered email. Okay, then what is again? The link only valid, or the link validity, maybe only valid for 30 minutes. Meaning after 30 minutes, if you click it, then that link should not be valid again. The link can only usability, meaning you can only, user can only use the link. once. So if you click on that link, you cannot go back, and you go back and click it, the link should not be used, should not be able to, you should not be able to, the link should not respond. So these are acceptance criteria. The question here is this: how do you know all of this? How? Why some are industry standard, okay, it is expected that, okay, personal details, you should ask your questions. What are the personal details you want? You can see now that I did not include middle name. So if the user wants you to include the username, okay, maybe when you say, will you like to include username, middle name? And he say yes, you can ask questions. Hey, can I ask, what is the value? What do you want to get from middle name? You know, if you think, oh, this is not useful, advice. But if the user still insists that I want middle name, go ahead and include middle name as part of the personal details that you'll be doing. B, you have your hand raised.
Sorry, I wanted to ask a question. In this acceptance criteria, can we also include password, like in the sense that like you
Absolutely.
use yeah,
Lower
okay.
case, upper
Yeah,
case,
exactly.
everything you include. That's acceptance criteria where you do. And how to write the acceptance criteria, we'll go through it next week. But I just want to kind of us to just have a better understanding of what it is. Now, lastly, I'll go back to this. If you look at it, one epic here can have multiple user stories. Ruth, I'll take you now. One epic can have multiple user stories. At the same time, one user story there can have one acceptance criteria. Let me demonstrate that for you. If you look at it here, the epic now, epic, the epic of registration is our epic. And it has multiple user stories. Okay? Now, one user stories of personal details has multiple acceptance criteria. Must contain only words, must not be more than 10 characters. Phone number, epic of phone number must contain only alphabets, must not be more than this. The same way, email validation is a user stories, and use acceptance criteria is must click, you must click it directly from your email. The validity is 30 minutes, and only usability can only be used once. So one epic registration, sorry, for better illustration. Epic user story. Acceptance criteria. Registration, personal details, trophy, okay. one. So you can see. Okay. Then again, after personal, let's say email validation, then is valid. So this is what I mean. Epic, we only have one epic, but you can see there are two user stories linked to this epic. For this user story, we have about 5 acceptance criteria. And for this, we have 3. So that is the illustration I was trying to write. One epic can have multiple user story. One of the user story can have multiple acceptance criteria. I've had a user story with about 10 acceptance criteria. So just take note of that. Next week, now we understand what epic user stories and acceptance criteria is. Next week, we dive deeper into how to write an epic, how to write a user stories, and how to write an acceptance criteria. I want to say, if you have time, please go to YouTube, Google, and just familiarize yourself with, how to write epic user stories and acceptance criteria, so that by the time you come in next week, you will just be, you will not be starting from the scratch. Any questions so far? We're tracking very well. We should, by next week, Saturday, we should complete this. We should be able to do this, and we can even start our project methodology. We do our agile, waterfall, we do our agile. Yeah, so we're tracking very well. Any question, guys? I'm happy to take question for the next 5 minutes. Beep.
Sorry, it's just I wanted to ask if there's a way we can have access to the notes.
Access to the notes?
Notes to the notes that you just wrote.
Sure, but not today. I think we'll give access to everything when we'll send it across when we finalize everything. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Any other questions, guys, before we call it a day?
Yes, sir. At the registration point, I wanted to ask if won't it be possible to add registering using your email? Because sometimes when you want to log into an app, you can see the option of logging in via your email address. So once you just click on Google or whatever email address you want to use, you verify, and then it takes it directly to what you wanted to do on the app.
Absolutely. So at what point will you capture that?
At the registration.
You capture it when you are doing your registration requirements here. Hey, guys, to register, instead of people registering, ask your questions, your business stakeholder. Do you want people to register using their email or social media? Okay, then we say, oh, that would be a brilliant idea. Okay, so just put it. User must be able to register. Now, when you are not writing, when you are writing your, so here, it will now be ready to insert. Okay. User ability to register using their email or social media account. Okay. Who's this? Who's this? Register user. Now, what priority do you want to give this?
Should have.
Okay. I think I'll give it a could have, because just an added advantage. If it's not there, it's not adding, it's not reducing the functionalities or the usability. It's just something to just give better user experience. But give it should have.
Yeah, because most times people don't like going to the long process of username, putting all your details one by one. I think it happens to me as well.
And that is what you can do. If the owner has given it a could, you say, hey, guys, I can tell you that people don't like to do it. Okay. If the owner still insists that I want a could have, what can you do? Do you have a data to support it? You can now go to your data analyst team to say, hey, is there a way you can help me to put a data where people maybe there is another application that they've done that said that out of about 100 people that are registered, 80 people are registered, they registered using their email address. If there is none, do you want to do a survey? Just push it out to people, maybe under 2-3 days, about 20 people register, fill the survey. Oh, when you are registering for a new application, how happy will you be able to register using email instead of doing your personal details? And maybe out of 20 people, 18 say, oh, they will be able to, they would like to do that. Now, you can say further in your survey, will you, if there is no option to register using your email, will you be discouraged? And out of 20 people, about 13 or 15 people are saying, yes, I will be discouraged if there is no option for me to register via my email. That's an evidence. When we talk about being data-driven, what do? You go to your, they say, hey, I told you that people prefer to register through their email than personal details. This is the data to back it up. Are we clear about how to be data-driven, how to leverage on data to make informed decisions? When we talk about data, we're not referring to, hey, have this data, very big data, myopic example. None of us like it as a business analyst. But being able to use simple data to back up your decision to say, out of 20, 18 said they will like it, and out of 20, 15 say if we do not have it, they will be discouraged. That's an evidence to say you must have it. Is that clear? So you come up with it when you are writing your high-level requirements and you prioritize it. So because this prioritization will help you to kind of know this is what you need to develop first before you go ahead and develop the code. Okay, if there's no question, can we call it a day? We'll converge again next week. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you.
And
thank you very much, sir.
See you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Next week Tuesday. So next week Saturday, it's going to be 5 p.m., which is 8 a.m. Nigerian time. Are we all good for that?
Yes.
All right, thanks. See you 5 p.m. Australian time next week and 8 a.m. Nigerian time. You have a lovely week ahead, guys.
And you too, sir.
Thank you, sir.